Hey everyone, I'm Tristan. I'm the developer of Spawnders, and I'm going to try something a little bit different today for the devlog, and I'm going to do a devlog video instead of just posting in Discord. So let's just see how this goes. First off, one thing I want to show you is that this is just my development mode. There's a bunch of stuff in here that you'll see that's not real, it's temporary, or it just never ships. So just as an example, down here you'll see a cheats mode button. This only works in development, it doesn't ship. This allows me to test the game more thoroughly as I'm developing it. And also don't get too excited about things like this where it says a little event button. That's not a real thing. It's been there forever. It doesn't do anything. So just be aware of this bunch of temporary stuff that you're going to see here. I'm going to go ahead and launch the game. Just give it a second to load. And for this demo, I'm going to turn the music volume down and I'm going to turn on cycle buttons because that's going to help a little bit better to show what the progress that I've made. So first thing you'll notice when I launch in is that I did move the training mode button here since I'm adding new modes. All those modes are not going to necessarily fit on the bottom, so I'm going to start stacking them up here. So any activity that you play starts with the campaign and then it will be stacked on top of that. So that's what I'm trying for now. And then the two new modes I'm working on are very similar. There's a harvest mode. In the harvest mode, you're going to fight trees. Those trees drop apples. The apples give you bushels for gold. That's sort of the goal that I'm going for there. And then the bosses, I'm still figuring out what exactly that's going to look like. And I'll show you a little bit of each of these modes. So let's start with apple harvest. This is completely 100% temporary. I don't know what the rewards are going to look like yet, but this is where it's going to show the rewards. So let's just click this big button. And here you're going to see the party selection screen. The way that this works is in the big, in these big party modes, you're going to actually have three parties, three groups. And each group has a party leader and you're going to control that party leader. So another thing to mention is that this activity is not going to cost any energy. So it does show energy 0 for now. I'm going to have to figure out what that looks like later. So I'm going to launch it. And this mode is an autoplay. So the three parties are all just going directly for the center. And they're starting with this big apple tree. The mode works in phases. And so there's always going to be one boss. And that boss's health burns down at the top here. Once you're at about a third of the health burn down, then a new phase starts. There'll be new spawns. You'll see that in a second here. There it goes. The boss becomes immune, and then the other trees spawn, the other enemies spawn, and you have to take those out before the boss can take damage again. Also, because this is just early development, these trees are acting like enemies, so they do actually have physics that they get pushed back. I probably am going to try to lock them in. They don't attack you, but you might see them move. We'll see. And the main boss right here has a bar that I'm probably going to get rid of because the main boss's bar is up here now. And there's some things about the art and layout that I still don't like that I'm going to still have to figure out before I ship this to y'all. Another thing to call out is that you do select the different parties here. You can only select the party leader to control. You can't select the other individuals. I want to show you how the party mechanics work in the other boss mode. So let me fade out and switch over to that real quick. So this is the other boss mode. This is Necromancer's Revival. The idea is the Necromancer has returned and it's going to spawn zombies that you have to fight through and kill. And so the party selection screen is the same. Let's go ahead and start it. And as I mentioned before, you select the party leader. You only get to control the party leader and use that party leader's abilities. You don't get to use the other party members' abilities unless your party leader dies. If the party leader dies, the other party members do step in as a leader. And if that happens here, you'll actually notice that the one that died gets deleted from the list, which is just temporary. I'll have to fix that in the future. So yeah, for instance here, Wolf died and Jazz took over. Another thing to call out is that the aura abilities are only applied to the other members of that party. And I did that so that you can actually have more sort of skill and tactics with regards to setting up your parties. You want to make sure your parties work the best together, and then if one of the party leaders dies, the other ones step in with their abilities in an interesting way. Another thing I want to call out is that the entire party does target the same thing that the leader's targeting. So for instance, I'm going to move Harrison's target around here. And so the whole party that Harrison's with will all, like Airly and Calvi, will also attack this tree with Harrison. And so you can see that as I click around, they're following Harrison. I can do that with any of the enemies just to move them around. So if I actually wanted to be more efficient and have them all attack the same tree to take it out more quickly, I could do that. so that's really all I have to show for now. This is still a work in progress. I really do appreciate you guys checking it out and seeing how it is so far. Also, let me know in the comments if you like this kind of devlog. If this is an interesting way to show progress, I'll definitely try to do it again in the future. And thank you all for your support so far, and I'll see you next time. Bye.